Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Quite well.
Good to hear. You're alive.
Yep.
You didn't have to get a plane ticket to go to Queen's Landing.
Nope. What joke am I missing?
Remember the elections today?
Oh.
Today's Tuesday. We were all worried about our safety. We
Oh,
were gonna go.
right.
We were
Well,
gonna go fight off the Tinder whores and go to Queen's
yeah.
Landing. Do
Well,
you get the joke now?
I get the joke. The thing is,
Okay.
we're recording this on Tuesday at 7:00. Polls just closed, so we don't have any results. Nothing's burning yet. We're not quite there yet. It's going to be released on Wednesday.
But you're safe.
But yeah. Thank you for asking.
Okay. That's pretty much all I wanted to know.
Okay. Fine. No problem. It's been 2 days. Why is there's no paint? There's nothing behind you.
It's called a job, Rich. Not all of us can work from home, so I apologize.
I'm not working at all right now, Raymond. I'm taking care of a brand new life. All right.
I've done that twice. It's no big deal.
Yeah. You haven't done shit. Your wife did all the work. Okay. Everyone.
Still doing all the work.
Let's be honest here.
Bill,
I've seen your quote unquote parenting in action, and Bill, you're not one to talk.
I got nothing on that.
Bill, it's great to see those baby blues right now. It's great to see those baby
Yeah,
blues.
man, you came in froggy. You were smiling, like eyes open.
God, I slept in today. My work gave me free 2 hours to go vote. Use that to my advantage this morning. I would have never made it anyways. The place right down the street closed at 7. So I went into work for 9 o'clock, got to sleep in an extra hour.
Not a boy.
Nice.
Good to hear, Bill.
Get your civil duty in.
Yes, sir. Voted at 7 o'clock this morning.
Is it weird for you to vote in a democracy when the Queen's Landing is a monarchy?
I prefer as a dictatorship.
Yeah, sure. How many letters have you sent the governor saying, look, when is my reign going to start? At what point do I get the power that I've been promised?
I mean, I wish, but our governor's been doing a pretty damn good job. I'm a big fan of his.
No politics on the show, Queen.
Yeah,
right.
Queen.
That's it.
No politics on the show. The most that we can talk about is the Tinder whore army that we're building.
I'm amassing them as we speak. I cleaned the basement out.
That's what you can't see it on the scan. He's just swiping right below us. Any girls that have guns in the screen, he's just swiping right.
No, it's the dildos with guns for hands.
That's right.
Guns for hands. I like it.
Guns for hands. That could be.
That is the crest. That is the crest and the weapon of choice in Queen's Landing.
What was that Tarantino movie, the Robert Rodriguez one, where
I remember. I know what you're talking about.
where she had the machine gun on her leg? Planet of Terror.
Deathstroke.
Planet of Terror. And then Death Proof was the back-to-back.
Yeah,
that was a
back
great movie. She had a fucking
Do all Gately's like back-to-back, or is it just movies?
What's that?
Do all Gately's like back-to-back, or is it just for movies?
That was a butt joke. When the Queen gets his power, I think we should form our own political party that just starts with guns with hands. It would just called Guns with Hands Party, and our symbol is just the dildo crest with guns with hands.
Done.
It's the elephant, the donkey, and a dildo with guns with hands.
I made a crest for you, Bill.
The third party will finally make their way into American politics with Queen Baratheon as our leader, Queen Billy Baratheon, and finally we'll bring some semblance of peace to this nation.
I mean, it can't be any worse than anything we got now or in the future. So, I mean, why not? Why not we get behind the whore platform?
You heard it here first, folks. The whore
platform 2024, baby.
Yeah, we're getting up and going. Give us a few years, we'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll be there. We just need
I
a little
think we have a
notoriety.
secretary too. We got Darren. I heard he was.
Yeah, well, he might be a competitor, but we may be able to flip him. We might be able to flip him.
Oh, easily.
He's easy to flip.
You just tell him about the amount of Tinder whores we can get and the dildos with guns.
Yeah,
anyone's gonna buy in.
Guns
He's
with
a happily
hands.
married man.
You know how many
Raymond.
people? Will just
hard to
sign on
believe.
if just with guns with hands. They're just in. Guns for hands. Oh shit, that's good. All right, welcome to the show. This is Silver Mind Sports Show Wednesday edition, November 4th. If we're all still here, this is election night in 2020 USA. We'll see. Welcome to the show. It's all going to be hoopla. Although, obviously,
It's not. You're not even going to know until like next week because no. I'll tell you right now. There's fucking places there's counties in Pennsylvania. They're not even counting until after all this shit's counted. And like Pennsylvania was like, there's some states that are only counting all the mail-in votes, like 7 a.m. this morning, where Florida started counting them like right away.
Well, that's the thing. No politics on the show, but if Biden takes Florida,
it's over. Pretty much. It's
kind of done. So it depends on if Georgia and Florida go quick to Biden, then you can probably mail it in. If not, then we might be in for a fucking
Ohio, Arizona, and North Carolina, Texas.
Yeah,
all
those are the ones. We'll see. No politics on the show. God damn it. No politics on the fucking show. The other news of the day. Yeah, we'll just beep all that. It'll just be one big long beep.
We should start a show like that and just be like, just go beep, beep like a fucking.
Yeah, we have
monitor.
Bill. We have the best of Billy Bad Words in the can that you won't let us fucking release.
We have the holy grail of beeps that you won't let us release.
Those are the early days. I don't want to relive them.
No, I love those. I actually like those being not released because that's motivation for me for us to make it big. Bill can quit his job, and then we can finally release those. Yeah. And then we will immediately be fired from whatever organization hires us.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. The other news of the day: NFL trade deadline mainly a bust. Not a lot of big moves going on. Kind of expected in this year.
Busty.
I don't know. The last few years, I feel like there've been
Ramsey got moved last year, right? But I mean, usually there's not major moves.
No, it's hard in football, and especially this year without any practice time, without with everything going on with COVID.
They got to be benched for a week if they get traded.
Yeah, 5 days. You have to go through.
Right. They got a quarantine, right? Yeah.
Because Dallas got Everson Griffin last week, and he couldn't play because he had to be in the quarantine, which is kind of weird because you're tested all the time in Minnesota. Like, why do you have to quarantine? I get it because you're traveling. What's different traveling to your team getting traded than it is? I'm like, I understand it's a different team. You're around a bigger group of people, but it's still, you could have just played a game with them. So I don't understand that aspect of the COVID
There
protocol.
isn't a difference, Bill.
Stupid.
It's just the NFL being the NFL, covering their ass or trying to cover their ass, making stupid rules for stupid reasons to say, yeah, we did everything possible to make this okay, even though every week more and more players continuing to getting test positive, which is weird. So a little bit off track. Like the MLB had their outbreaks, and then they figured it out, and then it was like nobody tested positive after that.
Till Justin Turner in the World Series.
Yeah, except for Justin Turner in the World Series, which we never really touched on. Maybe we can get that on the end of this show. What a fucking
I love it, dude. Yeah, you want to just talk about it right now, real quick?
All right,
I love that move, but I would have did the same exact thing as Justin Turner.
I do too, but it's a great opportunity to shit on the Dodgers and Justin Turner and baseball.
How do you
what
figure
a shit
out the
show?
Inning?
No,
the eighth fucking
get.
inning, you realize, holy shit, Justin Turner has fucking COVID, and you pull him out. It's because the game was already in hand, and they didn't want to fucking ruin it because it would have fucked up Game 7. That's my conspiracy. But going back on the field, don't give a shit. I would have done the same exact thing.
Here's another conspiracy for you. All the testing that they were doing. Oh, by the way, MLB bubble. Way to go. All the other testing that they were doing, they didn't know the results before the game. If Justin Turner's result is coming in the 8th inning, aren't everybody else's test results coming in the 8th inning?
Yeah, and where's all these 15-minute rapid tests that you can get right now that the NFL's like using, right?
My wife got one in the fucking Frederick Memorial Hospital in Maryland, and the NFL can't get one to get your results back in half an hour? Like, what are we doing here?
It's so fucking, but yeah, it's weird. In the bubble thing, holy shit. You heard fucking Joe Kelly come out and said he was scared for his life being in Texas like that. All those fucking nuts. And, Joe Kelly is probably as Texas gets.
Yeah, a bunch of motherfuckers with guns for hands running around, not giving a shit about COVID.
Joe Kelly, he would be my vice president.
There you go.
Joe Kelly.
Put Kelly on the ticket.
He'd be a Duke, Bill. He'd be your Duke.
He'd be raised big on the Duke. Duke Big Mac is he's pining for it once you get your power there.
Well, he's a queen. You can't have Kate. Never mind. Go on.
All right. Back to
Way to go,
Ray. Who'd the Patriots pick up? So the Patriots were quote unquote buyers today.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to call them.
Big time buyers.
Bigger news is Stephon Gilmore did not leave. Let's get into that in a second. But let's do a quick little recap on who they did pick up, wide receiver out of Florida, Miami.
Yeah, they traded for Isaiah Ford, 7th-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. We traded a 6th-round 2022 conditional pick. Nope, it came out as 6th. They changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, he has 32 career catches and 0 touchdowns. So that's what we got for the NFL trade deadline.
No one IDs a wide receiver like Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's great.
I mean, hey, he did steal Wes Welker. I mean, again, I'm not comparing this idiot to Wes Welker, but he does play the majority of his snaps in the slot. So, I mean, it's kind of what Julian Edelman's out. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. I guess it's a need. You need to play somebody there. Gunnar Olszewski's not the guy. I don't think this guy's going to be the guy, but at least he's another fucking body that you could stick there. They needed something. You knew they were going to make bit parts. And then you're kind of seeing it. I actually just texted you guys 10 minutes before the show. Dante Pettis just got waived by the 49ers. They couldn't trade him. He kind of fell in the doghouse. He's got 7 career touchdowns in 3 years. But, I mean, he's got some talent. When he was drafted, he was a second-round draft pick. He's on waivers right now. You're 2-5. Go out and grab him, and you get him for nothing. I think he cost $940 next year in his last year of his rookie deal. Again, as a second-round draft pick, he's got the talent. I would, in a Kyle Shanahan's offense, I mean, I would at least try to grab him. I mean, it's worth the gamble than this guy because you're not giving up anything, and you have $26.5 million fucking dollars in the salary cap.
Okay, so let's get to the crux of the issue here. Go. What were you gonna say, Ray?
We've spent a lot of money in the past few years, so we have no money to spend.
They sold out, Bill. Didn't you hear? Did you hear Belichick? They sold out for the 3 Super Bowls, and they've. We heard on I don't know what report I heard it from, but they are dead last, or at least 31st in the league in real money spending over the past 4 or 5 years.
That is incorrect. They are 32 out of 32.
32 out of 32
since 2016. Real money spending.
So they've spent. They sold out. They sold out in their position, so it's just okay that we didn't see any move to bring in a defensive tackle, which they literally have nobody. It's okay they didn't bring in a linebacker. They have one linebacker. They have one linebacker on the fucking roster who can play in the middle. It's okay that they brought in one scrub to play wide receiver when you walked into last week with three wide receivers on your active roster, all of them undrafted. It's okay. You know what? They sold out the last 4 or 5 years, so this year they're not expected to do anything to put a formidable team on the fucking field.
They did just pick up a defensive tackle. I forget his name, but I think I don't even remember where he came from, but I think he was just a claim. He's not going to be anything, but again, it's depth. You just lost Bo Allen, another failed free agent signing. That was your big heralded signing in the offseason. He was supposed to play that Danny Shelton role, and he couldn't get on the field. You just put Devin Asasi, whatever his fucking name is. Asiasi. He just went on IR. Another fucking failed draft pick. You've had at least 2 of your draft picks this year already either start on IR or be on IR already. It's not a good trend. And you haven't drafted well. And to claim that you've sold out to win to win 3 Super Bowls is kind of bullshit. Again, when you're 32nd in the league, they've always been like that. If you look at real dollars, because they front load every single fucking contract and then they spread out the signing bonuses. So they spend to the cap. So that's clearly what he's alluding to. But I'm sick and tired of these fucking excuses in the last 2 weeks. Oh, we don't have depth because we have no salary cap space. Oh, we fucking sold out to win Super Bowls. When have we ever heard a fucking excuse out of Bill Belichick? And I'm sick and tired of it. He's given the season away because of COVID. And that's my biggest thing. We knew it was kind of going to be a rebuild year. We didn't think it was going to start this fucking bad. We expected them to be at least 3-4, 4-3 right now. And this, ugh.
Okay. But all right. So let's take a step back. On the fact that they're this bad. I've been reflecting after this Bills loss, after we all deemed them dead. And if you go back, look, they've looked bad. I mean, the Denver game and the 49ers game leave a really sour taste in their mouth. And the fact that Cam fumbled the game away against the Bills, obviously 3 games in a row leave a really bad taste in their mouth. But if you go back and look at it, you're 1 play away from winning against Seattle. You're Cam Newton not getting COVID, basically, away from at least being in the fucking Kansas City game. You're 1 drive away from a Denver win, which you should have won, where N'Keal Harry fucked up, or Cam Newton fucked up on the final drive, and then you're 1 fumble away from Buffalo Bills. You're Bill Belichick said it in one of his excuses. You're 5 or 6 plays away from being 5-2 or 6-1 if you want to get crazy. So But that's the Tom Brady difference to me. I mean, if you have
Yeah,
Tom Brady, you're 5-2, it's maybe 6-1, and that doesn't say that they can turn this around and be a competitive team.
You
To
might
me,
be
that just
undefeated with him.
yeah. I mean, maybe
Even with this offense, you might
either
be.
way, to me, that just screams the difference in the way you're going to have to run your organization. Bill Belichick, with Tom Brady on your team, you have winning plays. Without Tom Brady and Cam Newton as your quarterback, you have losing plays, and now this is what you have to deal with. So you have to actually bring in somebody who can stop the run. You have to actually have a legitimate defensive tackle or a couple linebackers on your roster or like a couple wide receivers who actually know how to play the game because you don't have Tom Brady, and that's the biggest glaring difference right now. So last thing on the trade deadline, why didn't Gilmore get traded? Ray?
That's a high asking price, a first and another player. That's a lot to be dealing with Stephon Gilmore. And I think it was what we do on early lines. I think it was a spite agenda on Bill Belichick to give that amount because of Gilmore putting his house up for sale and having the deadline for all offers in by 5 p.m., which is the trade deadline, an hour after the trade deadline. So I think
fighting about his contract earlier in the season. He doesn't like that. I think
this is Bill Belichick being like, "Fuck you, you're not going anywhere." So
is that right or wrong? Let me answer my own question. To me, it depends on the offers coming in. And I've been this way since the beginning, since we heard about the Gilmore rumors. If you're not gonna get a high second, which you're probably not gonna get it because what shitty team's gonna trade for Gilmore? So I was in the camp of get a first round pick, and if you're not gonna get it, you can just trade him in the offseason.
Yeah,
you can trade him in the
you're still going to get a second,
or
at least
fourth,
their
or
second or
the
third in the offseason. I think you could get a second and a third for him without having to give up a first. Because again, you're going to have to pay him. He's only getting $7 million next year. I think that's one of the main reasons. I don't think teams were offering a first round draft pick. I would have been fine with a second. You know what I mean? And I think maybe it was the player. I think if a team really came and said, all right, maybe we'll give you a first-round draft pick without a player, I bet Bill would have taken it. I mean,
hold on, Bill. Sorry to interrupt you, though. So think of this scenario if you're Belichick, and we're not playing the total spike card. If he's looking at this player as still one of the best cornerbacks in the league who hasn't played his best because his head's not in it, now he goes to him and says, look, you burnt our leverage with your shenanigans. And now you got to earn yourself. Now you got to earn your fucking contract because next year you're not going to play for $7 million, and I'm not going to pay it, and I'm not going to pay you dick. So wherever you go, you're going to have to negotiate a contract. And if you continue to play like poo-poo this year, you're not going to get the contract you need. So now you can come back on this team and come back to the form that you were in last year for me for the rest of the season. And if Belichick, we know, is not going to tank, all this tanking talk is stupid.
Yeah,
he's going to try and win. And if he sees a path that we weren't able to see, but if he sees a path to the playoffs, then Gilmore is one of his best weapons. And if he can motivate him saying, your contract is basically nothing. You're playing for a contract next year, not with us, for somebody else. So you better go put your best foot forward out in the field. Then that gives you your best opportunity to win on defense. From a negotiation standpoint, from a motivation standpoint on Belichick's side of it, if we're taking just the asshole spite out of it, the Malcolm Butler benching in the Super Bowl spite side of Bill, then I could see that working out. Especially if he wasn't. I think if you got a first and some kind of a player, he would have shipped him out in a second.
Yeah,
I think he would. Even if he got a first, he might have shipped him out in a second. I would imagine that no one was offering that to him because of the doubts that they had about.
And he just missed the game because of a knee injury. And I mean, someone said on the radio on the way home today, who is a corner away from winning a Super Bowl this year? Seattle. But again, who are they going to give up? Their secondary is trash. Their defense is very bad this year. I mean, so who are you going to give up as a player? And what is Bill going to take back? You're not going to give up anybody on offense.
DJ Dallas. Bill will take his 9th running back on the roster.
Yeah. Or you could get fucking, you could have just drafted DJ Metcalf and then we would make,
Hey, what a novel concept. What a novel concept, drafting someone who's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody else in the field. Crazy. No, we want
Al Davis would have made him a fucking number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, he would have. Or the Detroit Lions, the Ford family. Let's draft wide receiver number 1 overall 3 fucking times. Whatever.
Hey, at least they hit one.
They hit one, baby. They hit one. Oh shit. Okay, we got all over the map here. Let's dial it back real quick to final thoughts on the Patriots-Bills game. I'll give you mine. Sean McDermott. Woo! My Bills are going fucking nowhere with this dude. How do you have that type of reaction to beating that Patriots team? And if any of the listeners don't know what I'm talking about, he essentially went up on the podium and cried in an emotional outburst over the fact that they beat the Patriots. And by beat the Patriots, I mean Cam Newton beat the Patriots, fumbling the ball away, fumbling the game away, and McDermott treated it like he won the Super Bowl. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, how can you have that type of reaction to that type of game, to this type of team? You didn't beat Belichick and Brady. You didn't beat that team. You beat Cam Newton fumbled on the 12-yard line. What the fuck are you so happy about?
Yeah, and he wanted to go home and take an hour or two to celebrate with his family. Like, he just won the Super Bowl and nominated for the Hall of Fame all in one night.
All right. I forget what the line is in this Bills game, but give me whoever they're playing by about $1 billion.
We have it.
We got it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I have it. All our teams are on the line this week.
I know. I know what it is. I just forget what the line was. I just
2.5.
Unbelievable. I just can't. This is the Bills. This is the Buffalo. This is my Buffalo Bills. They're never going to win shit. They're never going to win a goddamn thing because of that fucking pussy-ass loser attitude.
Yep.
Anybody else final thoughts from the Bills game? We want to push past here, right?
Quickly, we're still the only team in the NFL that hasn't scored in the first quarter, a touchdown in the first quarter. Nice. And like you said, Cam has failed on 3 attempts to win a game. As you said, Seattle, Denver, and obviously Buffalo. That's all.
Or how about the fact that we have 3 passing touchdowns in the whole season? 3?
Not bad. Not bad. Speaking of passing touchdowns, you guys catch Brady on Monday night?
I don't watch dead people.
Even in a bad game, he looked like I
saw him smashing his helmet on the bench.
Yeah, because their offense was a little bit frustrated and lagging, but just watching him throw. Just his mechanics of him throwing the ball after watching Cam Newton like trying to shot put his way to 1 for 9. Oh, God damn it. I know he's dead to us, and I know I'm on the Bill train, but fuck, he's sexy.
That team's looking good.
And he gets his best friend back this week with AB.
Yeah, they're living together in Jeter's mansion.
Yeah,
in Jeter's mansion, as the state of Florida is pending sexual assault cases on him.
Yeah, they're good friends. Yeah, let me.
Way to go, Brady! Yeah,
family
man, Brady. Let's bring him in with the kids and wife.
My hot, overrated wife and his little daughter. That's smart. Let's move a fucking rapist in. Great idea.
Unbelievable. Alleged, Bill.
Sorry.
So you guys didn't watch the game? You see the highlights? Was that pass interference last play? So Giants come back. They actually get the touchdown, down by 8. Daniel Jones, who sucks,
he's awful.
Sucks. I mean, he missed. Giants should have won that game by 30. Anyway, last play of the game, going for 2 to tie it up. Daniel Lewis basically gets tackled at the goal line. PI, right?
Yeah. He didn't even turn around until after he hit the guy. It should have been a flag. It's stupid. They picked it up, right? They called it pass interference. Dumb. That was a pass interference.
The back judge, or whatever they call him, threw it. Who was on the back?
You know what it reminded me of? That Carolina game, 2013? Luke Kuechly tackled Gronk in the end zone when Brady was screaming for a flag. It kind of reminded me of that play.
Yeah, except they threw the flag this time and they picked it up.
Yeah, which was bullshit. It should have been pass interference, but I think it just reminded me of that play because, Brady is involved in all that bullshit, so fuck him.
All right, moving on. NHL and NBA struggle city trying to get this thing going. Let's start with the NHL because I have two thoughts on this, which I think I laid out to you in the email. The NHL seems like they're trying to make their decision based on logistics. 2 nations, Canada and America, United States, trying to figure out travel, salaries, how they're going to work there. I think they negotiated 72% of the players' salaries. They got to keep all that. So they're trying to figure all that out and get a start date and make it work. Maybe hub cities. We can get into the details. And then the NBA,
fuck them.
The players, they just don't want to start yet because their legs are tired.
Don't say players. LeBron's crew doesn't want to start. Yeah.
What?
LeBron bitch crew.
Bitches. You had 4 months off.
Bronny
bitch crew. Some of these teams have not played since March.
Yeah.
Some of the teams have not played since March. Most of the teams have not played in 3 months.
Yep.
You won your championship, LeBron. Here's the deal. You get another couple months off, then you go back and play. I'm sorry you're 38. Take the first couple months off. You'll be fine. You do it anyway. These fucking brawny bitches in the NBA. All right, take it how you want, Bill. Where do you want to go? NHL, NBA? What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, the NHL, I can see why they're trying to, figure. It's taking longer to figure out. They're trying to hammer on a 48-game schedule. Some of the players want an 82-game schedule. Some owners don't want to play at all. And the logistics things is, pretty hard. I think there's 6 Canadian teams. So if you think about the
6 or 7.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't do it.
Yeah, whatever. And if you think about the NBA, it's just Toronto, and it's harder to move those guys 6 or 7 teams down and figure out where you're going to play them for basically the next 6 to 7 months, where you couldn't bring your families down to the bubble. You're going to let your families, because of the whole border crossing thing, the borders are closed and all that shit. So I can understand the NHL's problem, but if they don't come back, that's going to be a death blow. They cannot lock out again. They cannot do it. And the fact that, just real quick, NBA, they're dragging this shit out, so they'll start in fucking January. That's what they're doing. The Players Association knows what they're doing. They're just dragging it out because they're running out of time. They want to start December 1st or December 2nd.
December 22nd. They're going for a vote Thursday.
Training camp starts.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you were saying.
And they're going to play 3 exhibition games and start by Christmas. So it's like the longer this drags out, they're going to start in January, and it's just because they're bitches. They had a whole off season. They're from March to July. That's a whole off season, and that's not enough rest. They play for 2 fucking months. Suck my dick, NBA. Fucking whiny ass bitches. This is why I hate the NBA, because the players dictate everything in the NBA. Fuck the NBA.
That's what I was going to say. Gary Bettman's going to do whatever the fuck he wants, and whatever he seems like is going to make him the most money, he's going to do. Adam Silver, on the other hand, is a players commissioner. Whatever
Jeff
LeBron James, whatever he wants is what he's going to go.
I'm not beeping that. Fuck it. No, I'm not.
He looks like him.
A bald Jeff Apkowitz.
He can't hear this. He's not allowed on the internet, so it doesn't matter.
All right, fine. I agree. Yeah, it's all players. I mean, Adam Silver is going to pine to the players. We'll see if they can meet in the middle somewhere. The draft's the 18th still, right? November.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They won't start Christmas. You're probably right. They'll probably push it to January because the players in that league are very powerful, especially LeBron, who's winning it. But it is bullshit. But at the same time, I don't know. Whatever. Just start and play a season. Start and play a season, and I'm kind of okay with it. And that's where I think hockey is. They will not lock out. They won't lock out.
No, they'll come to agreement.
Now, we'll see, obviously, with the election, and we'll see who wins this. I think, I know we don't do politics on the show, but if you get Biden at presidency, watch that Canadian border open up real fucking quick. Watch it open up real fucking quick, because there'll be a little bit of better communication there. Trump seems to piss everybody off. But whether that is true or not, the Canadian border, there has been talk. Yeah, we just don't run countries. There has been talk of them putting in some logistics for testing if you're going to cross the borders. So, I think the NHL will figure their shit out. They did the same thing with the bubble. Every time we thought they had a plan and we knew the plan for the bubble, they changed it to something else, and then inevitably it ended up being something.
They played the bubble great. It worked.
Yeah,
it fucking worked.
I kind of have faith. This is the NHL thing. They're all over the place. It's always convoluted, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The bubble worked great. I have faith that they'll get it done. But they can't put these players in a bubble for 7-8 months. That's just.
Well, you hear a lot of. I think even the Bruins just said, if we can't bring our families in, there's a bubble. We're not playing.
They don't have to. The MLB and the NFL are doing it right now. They're getting positive tests, yes, but they're pushing through. They're making it happen. It's working to an extent. It's the NFL. They both are kind of failing at it. Hopefully, the
NHL is going to do what baseball did and keep it Red Sox only travel the East Coast, shit like that. So they're going to try to keep it region based, which worked for baseball. So I think that's the hope in hockey, that, they might have their few outbreaks like baseball did, but they'll contain that stuff. I bet they'll start expanding the rosters. I mean, you got to have to at that point.
Yeah. You're going to have to. The expanded roster thing's interesting too, because we've seen that in the NFL. Expanded roster doesn't really matter unless your testing works. right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be easier. Again, it'll be easier for these leagues because they have more games and they have more opportunities to move their games around, and their schedule is much more flexible than the NFL. But like, whoever the practice player was for the Patriots that tested positive, who they had a positive test on Saturday morning before they played Denver, and then
Yeah,
they
was it?
then they
He's
pushed
got like
through
a
anyway.
famous name, but he sucks. I don't remember his
Cohort.
name.
Wasn't it Cohort?
No. Well,
It
no,
might have been
there was another guy that got.
Either way, the point is you know whether you have expanded rosters or not. When you have that type of situation where you get a positive test, everybody else, and it's less than 24 hours or 24 hours before a game. It doesn't matter if you have expanded rosters and that guy can't play. Everybody then is susceptible to being infected. And like that's what the NFL is dealing with, and they're basically just fucking winging it, hoping it's okay, hoping it all works out. And up until this point, it guess you could say it kind of has a little bit. I mean, the Titans and the Patriots kind of screwed things up there pretty bad for a couple weeks, but we're in week 9. They haven't missed any games, and they're pushing forward. So, what else can you say? I guess we can talk MLB free agency. We're 4 days into it, and literally nothing's happened.
Yeah, it won't. Usually you see a lot of the stuff in the winter meetings, which I think got postponed. But usually December, January, you start seeing a lot of them. No.
Isn't that the dumbest shit on the planet?
Yep.
Isn't that so stupid? NFL free agency, the second it hits midnight, someone signed to a big contract.
Basketball
NBA,
too.
second it hits midnight. I mean, NHL free agency was a blast this year. In the midst of football and everything else going on, NHL free agency was catching headlines because of all the movement and shit, because it's a truncated point of time. The baseball gives them, 6 months to jerk each other's dicks off and figure out, where people are going?
Well, look at that Harper and Manny Machado year. They didn't sign till what, March?
Yeah, even
JD Martinez didn't sign till spring training.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in spring training. You're right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Just baseball being baseball.
David Price, too, signed late. All those guys do. Any Scott Boras guy, they always drag it out, right? Because
they want the highest bid,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Baseball is dead to us, continually to punch themselves in the face. All right, UFC, Fight Guy Bill, take it away.
McGregor Poirier, signed, done. It's going to happen in January, which is going to be huge. I think that's going to set up for probably the Khabib vacant title fight. So if McGregor wins, he probably will fight. I would think he would probably fight Tony Ferguson. I think he's probably deserves another shot. I mean, he got knocked out his last fight, but I mean, there's that. And then Adesanya is moving up to fight Jan Blachowicz in the light heavyweight division, which is going to be huge because he wins that title. That's going to set up John Jones' fight. That's the super fight that everybody wants. That's a super fight that needs to happen. He wants to fight him. And Izzy came out today and said he's not even adding an extra weight. He fights at 184 where the light heavyweight's 205. He's like, it's just skill. It's just going to be skill. So, I mean, I can't wait to see that fight. So, I mean, those are the couple big fights coming up. Big news that came out the last couple of days.
John Jones has nothing on the horizon, right? He's just
they're
kind of waiting for something to come up.
Yeah, he's training to be the heavyweight. I think he'll probably he could get a title shot after Stipe and Nagano are going to fight again for that title. So I think he might slide in with a winner of that. But I'd like to see him fight Izzy for the light heavyweight belt, get his title back there, and then he can think about moving up after that fight.
Wouldn't that fuck up his training, though? If he's trying to get into heavyweight and then he takes on a light heavyweight?
He fights heavy anyways. He's usually – heavyweight's like 225. So he's usually – I think his walking around weight's a lot more than 205. I mean, he's, 6'5", 6'6".
Oh, he's a giant.
He's a giant, and he's just jacked. So I think his walking around
he almost just shot someone
shot
with
some
a shotgun.
guy with a shotgun. Yeah, you see that video? It was pretty badass. But no, he fights over his walking around weight's probably 225 to 250, somewhere in that range. So I don't think it's going to be hurt him too much. It would just you're just going to train differently because I think he's bulking up more with muscle to fight the big guys and take the shots. So I think if he's going to do that, he'll have to train down a little bit and kind of take some of that muscle off to get back to your 205 range. But he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. Fuck Khabib. He's John Jones, the best fighter.
Got a John Jones fan here. Ray, anything to add as the new fight guy?
No, I don't.
Great intake. All right, well, that'll be exciting. We're looking forward to McGregor coming back. He's always the lightning rod that gets the headline. So back in the news. All right, I guess soccer guy Ray, the MLS, the Revs are making the playoffs?
They clinched the playoff spot,
I
16.
don't have time for
All
this.
right,
Rich.
yeah, actually, I'm sorry. I know we have time on the dial, but we did run out of time personally to talk soccer tonight.
32
so
points.
We'll
They're
get to it next time.
16.
This has
One
been
game
the
left
Simple
against the
Minds
Philadelphia
Sports Show
Union.
Wednesday
They
edition.
can be playing the Columbus Crew
November
or Orlando
4th.
City
We'll see you
FC.
next time. Bye, boys.
Bye.
I knew you fucking assholes were going to do that. I fucking knew it.
Yeah. Oh, they clinched a playoff spot, did they? Good. Were they playing? Interesting.
Yes. Yes,
I
How
didn't even
long
know
was
they
the
were still
season?
fucking playing. I
How long
thought
was
they
the
just played a
season? Didn't
fucking
they just have a
tournament over
tournament?
the summer.
Oh
Like,
my
what the
God,
hell?
I told you, Bill, already. It was a preseason tournament. It was a play-in tournament.
This is a preseason tournament?
No. What you saw in, what was that, June? That was a preseason, like, coming back together tournament.
Oh,
This-
cool.
That
The
was just for
Buffalo
fun?
Bills of
That
the
was just-
MLS. I can't wait for them to lose in the finals again.
They're not going to make the finals.
So they went through all of that COVID bullshit just for fun? Just for
funsies.
some jamboree action like we would have on
That's
Saturday?
all right. I didn't know if you knew what a jamboree was.
Like a
but yes,
Saturday morning jamboree?
That's all it was.
Our parents are hungover as shit, slugging coffee. There's
Yeah.
frost on the fucking fields.
Ripping
and then we
heaters.
gotta,
A fried dough vendor, and all the kids want a fried dough with
Yeah.
extra sugar.
So
Yeah.
the MLS spent all that money, and they literally kicked teams out because they couldn't handle the COVID testing in Orlando, all for a jamboree.
Yep.
All right.
How fucking
December-
no wonder why
December
no one
is the
watches
championship.
soccer.
What
in
a
this country.
fantastic sport.
The
Thank God I didn't
MLS.
spend
The
any time.
MLS.
I
Shut
was
up,
going to
Ray.
say.
No one
Thank
watches
God I didn't
fucking
spend any
MLS.
fucking
Why you gotta get
time
all
watching that
offensive?
shit.
Because I know you were going to say something stupid.
Me?
Most popular
dude.
sport in the world, a beautiful game.
Yeah, everybody watches soccer, man.
Oh, it's huge
EPL is
here.
the most profitable league in the world.
Well,
I
they're
tried to
trying
get
do a
EPL.
Super League. They're trying to do a Super League now.
I just
They
it
got
is
shot down.
a
I
very
do like
boring.
the fact that is
boring
that the
sport
league
to
that
watch.
kicks out the two worst teams every year. I like
Yeah,
that.
relegation is great.
All
I
the
love
leagues
that.
do that over in Europe.
I know.
I
I
like
like that.
relegation. Relegation should happen everywhere. But watching the sport itself is very, very boring. It's
Also,
very
do
boring.
you see that video? What was it? Atlanta when they won the. They were chanting and marching down the street. It looked like it was like a riot starting. I was like, man, if like the revolution could ever do that around here, I was like, all right, I could potentially get into soccer because if I can be a drunk hooligan at a soccer game, I would do that.
Shoot
but what
your
am I
gun
going to
in
be
the
a
air?
drunk hooligan at fucking
Guns for
Gillette for
hands.
the shitty refs? Like, no thanks.
Yeah,
I
the
would not
problem
be.
is like we deal with Route 1 and Foxborough because it's the Patriots in
Yeah.
football. No one's dealing with that bullshit to go watch a Revs game. And then what, they win and you go march down Route 1?
I mean, I don't know.
Woohoo!
I don't know where you park, Rich, but I don't even go on Route 1.
Okay, sorry, Queen. We know. You got the helicopter pad somewhere and
Ray, you've been there.
governor's sending you
It's the
out.
greatest parking spot I've ever had.
It is pretty nice.
Attaboy, Bill. Way to shit on my joke just so you could toot your own horn for some goddamn parking
you
spot for
surprised?
this game.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Surprised.
Toot toot, motherfucker.